NFL preseason starts today. Right now it's about 6:30 in the morning. I'm recording it so early because I have to go to work. And it kind of sucks because I will miss a lot of NFL games because I have to work on Sundays because I had to go to work around my school schedule. But I will be home with plenty of time to catch this game. And I'm really excited for it. It's the NFL preseason, which if you've seen some of my other videos, I've mentioned it before. I love watching preseason because it gives me a good chance to evaluate the players on the teams. Based on individual efforts, you can really see people perform within the system. If you look on one of my earlier videos, I talk about the fact that after watching the entire NFL preseason, I took note of Arian Foster. I liked the way he ran, and so I picked him up as a free agent in all three of my fantasy leagues. And in the opening game, he played against the Colts, and he got 41 fantasy points. So preseason can be very helpful for those who pay attention to it and for those who know how to use it. And for all those people who are thinking who want only 2 preseason games or even no preseason games, you're all idiots. We need 4 preseason games. I mean, 6 was a bit excessive, but 4 I think is just right. I think best case scenario, you could hope for them to just change it to 3. But I think we need preseason games. It gives coaches as well as analysts a chance to evaluate players and prepare themselves for what might come ahead. What am I going to be looking at when I watch this game? I'm going to be looking at the Saints defense more than anything else because as on the offense, they've got Drew Brees. That's all you need. It doesn't matter if you have your head coach or even not if they don't have the interim head coach. As long as you have Drew Brees, it doesn't really matter who's in charge. On the field, Drew Brees is a fantastic leader, and he's going to get it done. That offense is gonna put up some numbers, and I look forward to seeing what the running game brings. Mark Ingram after a year of development, Darren Sproles now that they know what they have with him, and on the Cardinals, more than anything else, we're looking forward to finding out who the quarterback's going to be. Now, whoever starts this game, which I think is going to be Kolb, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to start week 1. But it'll be, I think Kolb has an unfair advantage in this competition because, for one, they're paying him all that money, and they don't want to have egg on their face by not getting him the start, giving him the chance. But I think Skelton probably has more skill and more potential if he can just get his mind right. But Kolb, they're giving him the look, I think, more because they paid him that money. And he's going up against the Saints defense, which already sucked as it is. But it's just luck. Well, if it was regular season, then you can look at all the people that are gonna be missing. Kolb looks like he'll probably end up starting at the beginning of the year, but I will not at all be shocked when, and I say when, not if, John Skelton ends up taking over. And on the season, I would not be surprised to see Arizona get up around or even a little bit above 500. I think with their team, they've got a decent offense. They've got an underrated defense. 9-7 is probably the best they could hope for. I'd expect them to be more around 5 or 6 wins, honestly. But I do, because Larry Fitzgerald is a beast, and as long as you have him on offense, That's an explosive passing game attack, and they've added some weapons around him. Yeah, I think you can definitely see an improved running game. But in the Saints, they're actually in a pretty tough division. The Saints, their defense already sucked, and now that defense has got to try to stop Cam Newton twice a year. Oh, that's gonna be horrible. And the Falcons are a pretty great team as well. So the Saints are gonna struggle. But I still think that as long as you have Drew Brees leading that offense, as explosive as they are, all of their players are still there. And I think they still could get 10 or 11 wins on the season. I don't know if they're going to win the division this year, though, because they do have a lot of competition. And look at how great Tampa Bay has improved. I would still put Tampa in between 5 to 8 wins this year, but I look for them to definitely make some strides this year. They are a young team, and I think of all the teams in the division, Tampa Bay is the most likely to make a dynasty just because all of their players are in their early to mid 20s. Don't get me wrong, the Saints are awesome. Drew Brees is my favorite quarterback ever, but some of their top players are starting to get up in those years. In the NFL, 30 is like 80.